Welcome to chapter 9 of this paper. In this final chapter, we are going to discuss three additional topics. One is on non-negative matrices, next one is incident matrix of a graph, and the last one is Laplacian matrix of a graph. In this module, we are going to discuss various properties of non-negative matrices. A matrix is said to be non-negative matrix if its each entry is non-negative. Similarly, we can define a positive matrix as a matrix is said to be positive matrix if each of its entries is a positive. Adjacency matrices are non-negative matrices. Hence, the results which we are going to discuss about non-negative matrices are holds for adjacency matrix of a graph. Non-negative matrices are classified as reducible and irreducible matrices. Irreducible matrices further classified as primitive matrices and imprimitive matrices. Now, we are going to define and explore various properties of these matrices. In module 1 of this chapter 9, we are going to discuss about non-negative matrices. The learning objectives of this module are reducible and irreducible matrices, statements of Perron and Perron-Frobenius theorems, primitive matrices, and exponent of a primitive matrix. A real matrix A having all its entries positive is called a positive matrix. We denote positive matrix by A greater than 0. Similarly, if each entry of a real matrix is non-negative, then we denote it as A greater than or equal to 0 and call it as a non-negative matrix. Similarly, we can define positive or negative non-negative vector. A square matrix A of order n greater than or equal to 2 is called irreducible if there is a permutation matrix P such that P transpose into AP is equal to B C 0 D, where 0 is the 0 matrix of suitable size and where first A and B are square submatrices. If you cannot express like this, then A is called irreducible matrix. Now, we will associate graphs associated with the matrix. Now, we are going to associate a graph for every non-negative matrix. Let X be a directed graph and B be its adjacency matrix, then X is said to be associated with a non-negative matrix C if Cij is equal to 0, not equal to 0, if and only if Bij is not equal to 0. That means, since B is adjacency matrix, its entries are 1 or 0. So, whenever Bij is equal to 1, in that case Cij is non-zero, and further whenever Bij is equal to 0, in that case Cij also has to be 0. We denote the graph X associated with C or digraph associated with C as XC, and its adjacency matrix is denoted by ADXC, that is ADXC equal to B. If C is symmetric, then XC is a undirected, or equivalently adjacency matrix of XC is symmetric. Note that a digraph can associate with more than one matrix. For example, complete graph with a self loop at each vertex is associated with every positive matrix, that is adjacency matrix of XC is equal to J whenever C is greater than 0, that is C is a positive matrix. Example of a graph associated with a matrix. Here we are giving two matrices. First one is A is equal to, give a matrix is given like this, and another matrix B. If you look at A, if you compare A and B, the non-zero entries are in B are exactly at the same place the matrix A has ones. So, XA and XB, the digraphs X and XB are same, they represent a single digraph like this. This is digraph for A as well as digraph for B. Look at that, there is a self loop at 4 vertex 4. It is because in both A the 4 comma 4 entry is 1, in B also 4 comma 4 entry is 5, which is not equal to 0. Now, we are going to give an important result which relates irreducible matrices with property of a graph, that is a graph should be strongly connected. We will use the following result very frequently. Theorem, let A equal to Aij be a non-negative matrix, then the following are equivalent. First one, A is irreducible. For each ij there exists an integer k such that Aij power k is greater than 0. Here Aij k denotes that the ijth entry in the A power k, in the matrix A power k. So, and xi is strongly connected, these three are equivalent. So, that means A is irreducible if and only if the digraph associated with A is strongly connected. In other words, there exists a k such that A power k, ijth entry of A power k is greater than 0. For each ij there exists k with this property. Theorem, let A is an irreducible matrix of order n greater than or equal to 2 and y is a non-negative vector with exactly k positive entries for some k 1 less than or equal to k less than or equal to n minus 1, then in plus a into y has more than k positive entries, where in is the identity matrix of order n. We are not provided the proof of this result, but one can verify on their own, or one can refer a book by non-negative matrices by Mink or combinatorial matrix theory by Brualdi. One part of the following result is provided in module 2 of chapter 8. A non-negative matrix A is irreducible if and only if in plus a power n minus 1 is greater than 0. There we took A is the adjacency matrix of a connected graph and we proved that in plus a power n minus 1 is greater than 0. So, reverse direction is also easy to show, but we have to utilize the previous theorem. By using previous theorem, this result can be proved easily. Now, if A is irreducible matrix and B is greater than or equal to A, then B is also irreducible matrix. So, the proof it goes like this. Let XA be the directed graph associated with matrix A, then XA is strongly connected. Hence, XB is also strongly connected, as adjacency matrix of XB is equal to adjacency matrix of XA plus D. Since B is greater than or equal to A, so every entry in B is greater than or equal to every entry in A. So, we can write B is equal to some A plus D, or adjacency matrix of XB equal to adjacency matrix of XA plus D, where D is a 0 1 matrix. So, hence the result follows. Now, we are defining spectral radius for a matrix. Let A belongs to Mn of C, that is set of all Mn of C is set of all n by n matrices with complex entries. The spectral radius of A is denoted R of A, which is defined as modulus of maximum of the modulus of all eigenvalues of A, that is R of A equal to 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to n maximum of lambda of I, where lambda I is an eigenvalue of A. For example, in this matrix, for the matrix A equal to minus 1 1 0 minus 1, the eigenvalues are minus 1 and minus 1. So, the modulus of these two eigenvalues are plus 1. So, R of A equal to 1. Therefore, the spectral radius need not be an eigenvalue, it is absolute value of the all eigenvalues. But now we are going to show that for non-negative matrices, the spectral radius is going to be an eigenvalue. That is the reason we introduced this concept. So, Perron's theorem, the following theorem is due to Perron, proved in 1907, called Perron's theorem. It is very useful result or powerful result. Perron's theorem says that let A belongs to Mn of R, that means A is a real matrix with of size n by n, and R of A equal to R, that is spectral radius of A equal to R, and the spectrum sigma of A equal to lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on lambda s with a set of distinct eigenvalues of A. If A is greater than 0, then the following statements are true. r is greater than 0, that means spectral radius is greater than 0, and if r belongs to sigma of A, the spectrum of A or set of distinct eigenvalues of A, then that means the spectral radius becomes an eigenvalue. So r is called Perron value. R is a simple eigenvalue, that means algebraic multiplicity is 1. There exists an eigenvector x greater than 0 such that Ax equal to Rx. The unique vector P equal to P1, P2 and so on Pn belongs to R power n defined by AP equal to small r into P greater than 0, that is summation and satisfying summation I is equal to 1 to n, Pa is equal to 1, that is this P is a unit vector, is called a Perron vector. So it is not only unit vector, it is positive vector, is called a Perron vector for the matrix A. So this happens for every positive matrix. R is the only eigenvalue on the spectral circle of A. Frobenius in 1917 extended Perron's theorem of positive matrices to non-negative irreducible matrices called Perron-Frobenius theorem. It satisfies all the conditions of Perron's theorem except the spectral circle of irreducible matrix may contain more than one eigenvalue. So we will state the theorem. This theorem is also called Perron-Frobenius theorem, as Frobenius extended Perron's theorem to irreducible matrices. Irreducible matrix we mean it is already non-negative matrix and it is irreducible. Let A belongs to Mn of R and R of A is equal to R, and sigma of A equal to lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on lambda s be set of distinct eigenvalues of A. If A is greater than 0 is irreducible, then the following statements are true. That means this theorem is applicable for non-negative irreducible matrices. So the spectral radius is greater than 0, this is same as for the Perron's theorem. R belongs to sigma of A, that is spectrum of A, or set of all distinct eigenvalues of A. In this case also R is called Perron value only. R is simple eigenvalue of A. There exists a eigenvector x greater than 0, that means a positive vector, every entry of x is positive, such that Ax equal to Rx. So we can divide that x by its length, then we can assume that the unique vector P is equal to P1, P2 and so on, Pn belongs to R power n defined by Pn equal AP equal to Rp and P greater than 0 and satisfying I is equal to 1 to n, Pi is equal to 1 is called a Perron vector. Now we are going to discuss index of imprimitivity. Let A be an irreducible matrix with Perron value R, and suppose that A has h eigenvalues of modulus R, then the number h is called index of imprimitivity of A, or simply the index of A. If h is equal to 1, the matrix A is said to be primitive matrix, otherwise it is called imprimitive or cyclic. The following theorem establishes that index of a irreducible matrix can be computed from its characteristic polynomial. Theorem statement is, let A be an irreducible matrix with index h, and let f of x equal to xn plus a1 into x power n x power n1 plus a2 into x power n2 and so on ak x power nk, where n is greater than n1 greater than n2 and so on nk, and at is not equal to 0 for t equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on k be the characteristic polynomial of A, then h is equal to GCD of n minus n1, n1 minus n2 and so on nk minus 1 minus nk. we stated but not proved two important results. One is Perron's theorem on positive matrices proved in 1907. In 1912, Frobenius extended this Perron's theorem on positive matrices to non-negative irreducible matrices. Now we are going to define what is an exponent of a primitive matrix and derive few results on exponents of primitive matrices. In terms of digraph, the previous result can be stated as if A is irreducible matrix with index H and XA be its associated digraph, then H equal to greatest common divisor of lengths of all circuits in XA. For example, the index of adjacency matrix A of the following graph is 1, hence A is primitive. As each edge is directed cycle of length 2, there is a cycle of length 3, there is a cycle of length 4 as well. That is why this following graph is, the adjacency matrix of the following graph is a primitive matrix. So, we provided an example of a primitive matrix. Now, we are going to give an important result for primitive matrices. A matrix A is primitive if and only if A power m is greater than 0 for some m belongs to n, a natural number. The following theorem is very useful in determining whether given non-negative matrix is primitive or not. Let A be a non-negative matrix, then A is primitive if and only if there exists a positive integer m such that A power m is greater than 0. The characteristic polynomial of A, which is equal to 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 and 1, 1, 1. For this matrix, the characteristic polynomial is can be verified as x cube minus x square minus x minus 1. Hence, clearly h equal to 1 by using the previous result. Also, one can verify that a cube is equal to 1, 1. So, all 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2 and 2, 3, 4. So, every entry here is positive. So, that is a positive matrix. So, a cube is greater than 0. So, also one can see that a square no longer be greater than 0. So, because of that the index of this matrix is exactly equal to 3. The characteristic polynomial of the following matrix B is x cube minus 1. Further, its eigenvalues are cube roots of unity, all lie on unit circle. Hence, B is irreducible as B is a adjacency matrix of a directed cycle, but index of its primitivity is 3. So, index of the imprimitivity is greater than 1. So, B is, though it is irreducible, but it is not primitive. In general, the index of primitivity of Wn, B is nothing but W3. So, for Wn it is exactly equal to n. So, all adjacency matrices of a directed cycle are examples for irreducible but not primitive. Not only that, their index of primitivity is the highest, it is equal to n. Now, we are going to define exponent of a primitive matrix. Let A belongs to Mn of R be primitive, then the previous theorem says that there exists a positive integer m such that A power m is greater than 0. So, if we define SA is equal to m belongs to n such that A power m is greater than 0 is a non-empty subset of n. By well ordering principle, SA has least element, say k. This k will be called exponent of A and is denoted as exponent of A, exp of A. In terms of graph, the exponent of A is the smallest positive integer k such that between any two vertices I and j in XA, there is a path of length k. For example, every positive matrix has exponent 1. So, every positive matrix is automatically primitive and its exponent is exactly equal to 1. So, positive matrices are best examples for primitive matrices. If A is adjacency matrix of a complete graph Kn, then it is easy to verify that exponent of A is 2. Clearly, A is not positive matrix. but A square is greater than 0. Let A is equal to 0 1 0 0 0 1 and 1 1 1. You can easily check that A square is still non-negative but not positive. A cube is positive matrix, hence exponent of A is 3 in this case. Every primitive matrix is irreducible but not the converse. So, recall that W1 is adjacency matrix of directed cycle, then W1 is irreducible but not primitive. We already know this, but again we will prove. Since directed cycle is strongly connected, hence W1 is irreducible. However, the characteristic polynomial of W1 is x power n minus 1, all its roots have same modulus 1. If A is the adjacency matrix of a connected graph X, then A is irreducible, but A is primitive if and only if X is not bipartite. The proof is easy. Since X is connected graph, so it is automatically strongly connected. Hence, adjacency matrix of every connected graph is irreducible. Let A be the adjacency matrix of a bipartite graph, then A power 2k plus 1 is equal to 0. That means ith entry of A power 2k plus 1 is equal to 0, as there is no cycles of odd length. In a bipartite, we know that a graph is bipartite if and only if there are no cycles of odd length. So, consequently, the diagonal elements in A power 2k plus 1 are 0 for all k, that means odd length. So, hence A is not primitive. Since in a connected graph every edge is a directed cycle of length 2, consequently A is primitive if X contains a cycle of odd length, hence the result follows. A theorem, let A be a irreducible matrix and k is a positive integer such that A power k is greater than 0. That means A power k is a positive matrix, then A power k plus 1 is also greater than 0. It is easy to see. So, in fact, this is very easy to verify. So, now the next theorem is, let A be a primitive matrix and B is greater than or equal to A, then B is also primitive matrix. Further, exponent of A is greater than or equal to exponent of B. The proof, since B is greater than or equal to A, so B can be expressed as A plus C, where C is greater than or equal to 0. Since A is primitive, hence there exists an integer m such that A power m is greater than 0. Consequently, B power m is equal to A plus C whole power m, which is equal to A power m plus D. So, by binomial expansion we can derive like this. Clearly, D is greater than or equal to 0. Since A power m is already greater than 0, so A power m plus D is clearly greater than 0, as D is greater than or equal to 0. So, B power m is also greater than 0. So, the exponent of B is less than or equal to exponent of A. The following result shows that an irreducible matrix of order n with the positive diagonal entry is not only primitive, its exponent is at most 2 into n minus 1. Frobenius proved in 1912. Let A equal to Aij be a non-negative irreducible matrix of order n with Ai is greater than 0 for some I, that means trace of A is positive. Then exponent of A is less than or equal to 2 into n minus 1 or 2n minus 2. That is, it is not only saying it is primitive, but the exponent is also less than or equal to 2n minus 2. Let Xi be a graph associated with A, then there is a path of length n minus 1 from ith vertex to every vertex of Xa. In other words, every entry in the ith row and ith column in A power n minus 1 is positive. Then it is easy to verify that every entry in A power n minus 1 into A power n minus 1 is positive, or equivalently A power 2n minus 2 is greater than 0. The following result due to Halliday and Varga is an improvement of the above result. It says that let A be an irreducible matrix of order n having p non-zero elements on the diagonal, then A is a primitive matrix with exponent of A is less than or equal to 2n minus p minus 1. It is easy to see that the exponent of adjacency matrix of a star graph K1n with a self loop at the vertex of degree n is 2. K15 with a self loop at a vertex v of degree 5 is drawn below. So, this is a star graph with 5 vertices, v is in the middle vertex, the degree of v is 5. This graph has 6 vertices including the vertex v. So, adjacency matrix of this graph is like this, and one can verify easily that A square is equal to A square is a positive matrix. So, it is easy to verify in terms of graph theoretic terms. There are 6 walks of length 2 from vertex v to itself, and the number of walks of length 2 for the remaining combinations is 1. That is why we have those numbers in A square. Another theorem is, let A be a primitive matrix of order n, then exponent of A is less than or equal to n into 2n minus 2. Since A is irreducible, hence every vertex in XA there exists a closed path of length at most n. Hence there exists I belongs to 1, 2, 3 and so on n, and 1 less than or equal to m less than or equal to n, such that A power m I is greater than 0. So, if we take B is equal to A power m, then B is a non-negative matrix with positive diagonal entries or positive trace. So, by previous result we have that B power 2n minus 2 is greater than 0. Thus, A power 2 into 2n into n minus 1 greater than or equal to A power m into 2n minus 2, which is equal to B 2n minus 2 greater than 0. So, hence we proved that exponent of A is less than or equal to 2n into n minus 1. So, Vildant proved the following result in 1950. It provides an upper bound for exponent of a primitive matrices. Let A be an n by n primitive matrix, then A power omega n is greater than 0, where omega n is equal to n minus 1 whole square plus 1. With this remarkable result, we have that 1 is less than or equal to exponent of A is less than or equal to omega of n. So, Vildant result is very powerful. For every primitive matrix of order n, we can know that the exponent is at most omega of n. Omega of n is n minus 1 whole square plus 1. So, in order to check whether a given matrix is primitive or not, just it is sufficient to evaluate A power omega n, and if it is a positive matrix, then we will conclude that it is primitive. If A power omega n contains at least 1 0 entry, then we can conclude that that is not going to be a primitive matrix. The upper bound in this above theorem cannot be improved, as exponent of the following matrix is exactly omega of n. So, this is the matrix. Here it is almost each row contains exactly 1 entry up to n minus 2 rows. N minus 1th row contains 1 in the first and last entry, and again last row is 1 0 0 and so on 0. So, one can easily check that the exponent of this matrix is exactly omega n. As we already noticed, if A is adjacency matrix of a graph X, then A is primitive if and only if X is connected and contains an odd cycle. The following result gives an upper bound for exponents of adjacency matrix of connected non-bipartite graphs. Let A be the adjacency matrix of a connected non-bipartite graph X, then exponent of A is less than or equal to 2 into n minus 1, and equality occurs if and only if there exists a permutation matrix P such that P transpose AP is the matrix of this nature. that is, this matrix is easy to see. This is exactly the path graph with a self loop at a pendant vertex. As you aware that path graph has exactly two pendant vertices. So, if you put a pendant vertex at one vertex, then the graph resulting graph has exponent exactly equal to 2 into n minus 1. So, the proof is straightforward. It is a direct application of the previous result, as every diagonal entry of A square is the degree of the vertex. So, every diagonal entry of A square is positive. So, result follows. The exponent of a primitive matrix A is the smallest positive integer m such that A power m is greater than 0. The exponent of a primitive matrix of order n takes one of the value from 1 to n minus 1 whole square plus 1. The exponent of a primitive matrix of order n with the positive trace can take value from 1 to 2 into n minus 1. For few results, we are not provided the proofs. We request the reader to refer the references provided. With this, we end this module.